short message service is a text messaging service component of phone, web, or mobile communication systems. It uses standardized communications protocols to allow fixed-line or mobile phone devices to exchange short text messages. SMS was the most widely used data application, with an estimated 3.5 billion active users, or about 80% of all mobile phone subscribers at the end of 2010. The term SMS is used for both the user activity and all types of short text messaging in many parts of the world. SMS is also employed in direct marketing, known as SMS marketing. As of September 2014, global SMS messaging business is said to be worth over $100 billion US, and SMS accounts for almost 50% of all the revenue generated by mobile messaging. SMS is used on modern handsets originated from radio telegraphy and radio memo pages using standardized phone protocols. These were defined in 1985 as part of the Global System for Mobile Communication series of standards as a means of sending messages of up to 160 characters to and from GSM mobile handsets. Though most SMS messages are mobile-to-mobile text messages, support for the service has expanded to include other mobile technologies, such as ANSI CDMA networks and digital amps, as well as satellite and landline networks. History. Initial concept adding text messaging functionality to mobile devices began in the early 1980s. The first action plan of the CEPT Group GSM was approved in December 1982, requesting that the services and facilities offered in the public switch telephone networks and public data networks should be available in the mobile system. Quote, "This plan included the exchange of text messages either directly between mobile stations, or transmitted via message handling systems in use at the time." The SMS concept was developed in the Franco-German GSM cooperation in 1984 by Friedhelm Hillebrand and Bernard Gilbert. The GSM is optimized for telephony, since this was identified as its main application. The key idea for SMS was to use this telephone-optimized system, and to transport messages on the signaling paths needed to control the telephone traffic during periods when no signaling traffic existed. In this way, unused resources in the system could be used to transport messages at minimal cost. However, it was necessary to limit the length of the messages to 128 bytes so that the messages could fit into the existing signaling formats. Based on his personal observations and on analysis of the typical lengths of postcard and telex messages, Hillebrand argued that 160 characters was sufficient to express most messages succinctly. SMS could be implemented in every mobile station by updating its software. Hence, a large base of SMS-capable terminals and networks existed when people began to use SMS. A new network element required was a specialized short message service center, and enhancements were required to the radio capacity and network transport infrastructure to accommodate growing SMS traffic. Early development. The technical development of SMS was a multinational collaboration supporting the framework of standards bodies. Through these organizations, the technology was made freely available to the whole world. The first proposal which initiated the development of SMS was made by a contribution of Germany and France into the GSM group meeting in February 1985 in Oslo. This proposal was first further elaborated in GSM subgroup WP1 services based on a contribution from Germany. There were also initial discussions in the subgroup WP3 network aspects chaired by Jan Orderstad. The result was approved by the main GSM group in a June 85 document which was distributed to industry. The input documents on SMS had been prepared by Friedhelm Hillebrand with contributions from Werner Gilbert. The definition that Friedhelm Hillebrand and Werner Gilbert brought into GSM called for the provision of a message transmission service of alphanumeric messages to mobile users with acknowledgement capabilities. The last three words transformed SMS into something much more useful than the prevailing messaging paging that some in GSM might have had in mind. SMS was considered in the main GSM group as a possible service for the new digital cellular system. In GSM document, services and facilities to be provided in the GSM system. Both mobile-originated and mobile-terminated short messages appear on the table of GSM teleservices. The discussions on the GSM services were concluded in the recommendation GSM 203 teleservice supported by a GSM PLMN. Quote, "Here a rudimentary description of the three services was given: short message mobile terminated, point-to-point, the ability of a network to transmit a short message to a mobile phone. The message can be sent by phone or by a software application. Short message mobile originated, point-to-point, the ability of a network to transmit a short message sent by a mobile phone. The message can be sent to a phone or to a software application. Short message cell broadcast. The material elaborated in GSM and its WP1 subgroup was handed over in spring 1987 to a new GSM body called IDEG, which had its kick-off in May 1987 under the chairmanship of Friedhelm Hillebrand. The technical standard known today was largely created by IDEG as the two recommendations GSM 340 and GSM 341. WP4 created a drafting group, message handling, which was responsible for the specification of SMS. Finn Crosby of Telenor chaired the draft group through its first 3 years, in which the design of SMS was established. DGMH had 5 to 8 participants, and Finn Crosby mentions as major contributors Kevin Holly, EIJ Altonen, Didier Louisard and Alan Cox. The first action plan mentions for the first time the technical specification 340, technical realization of the short message service. Responsible editor was Finn Crosby. The first and very rudimentary draft of the technical specification was completed in November 1987. However, drafts useful for the manufacturers followed at a later stage in the period. A comprehensive description of the work in this period is given in. The work on the draft specification continued in the following few years, where Kevin Holly of Cellnet played a leading role. Besides the completion of the main specification GSM 340, the detailed protocol specifications on the system interfaces also needed to be completed. Support in other architectures. The mobile application part of the SS7 protocol included support for the transport of short messages through the core network from its inception. MAP Phase 2 expanded support for SMS by introducing a separate operation code for mobile terminated short message transport. Since Phase 2, there have been no changes to the short message operation packages in MAP. Although other operation packages have been enhanced to support Camel SMS control, from 3GPP releases 99 and 4 onwards, Camel Phase 3 introduced the ability for the intelligent network to control aspects of the mobile-originated short message service, while Camel Phase 4, as part of 3GPP Release 5 and onwards, provides the IN with the ability to control the mobile terminated terminated service. Camel allows the GSM SCP to block the submission or delivery of short messages, route messages to destinations other than that specified by the user, and perform real-time billing for the use of the service. Prior to standardized Camel control of the short message service, InControl relied on switch vendor-specific extensions to the Intelligent Network Application part of SS7. Early implementations. The first SMS message was sent over the Vodafone GSM network in the United Kingdom on 3 December 1992, from Neil Papworth of Sema Group using a personal computer to Richard Jarvis of Vodafone using an Orbital 901 handset. The text of the message was, "Merry Christmas." The first commercial deployment of a short message service center was by Aldiscon, part of Logica, with Telia in Sweden in 1993, followed by FleetCall in the US, Telenor in Norway and BT Cellnet later in 1993. All first installations of SMS gateways were for network notifications sent to mobile phones, usually to inform of voicemail messages. The first commercially sold SMS service was offered to consumers as a person-to-person text messaging service by Radio Linea in Finland in 1993. Most early GSM mobile phone handsets did not support the ability to send SMS text messages, and Nokia was the only handset manufacturer whose total GSM phone line in 1993 supported user sending of SMS text messages. According to Matti Mäkinen, the inventor of SMS text messages, Nokia 2010, which was released in January 1994, was the first mobile phone to support composing SMSs easily. Initial growth was slow, with customers in 1995 sending on average only 0.4 messages per GSM customer per month. One factor in the slow take-up of SMS was that operators were slow to set up charging systems, especially for prepaid subscribers, and eliminate billing fraud, which was possible by changing SMSC settings on individual handsets to use the SMSCs of other operators. Initially, networks in the UK only allowed customers to send messages to other users on the same network, limiting the usefulness of the service. This restriction was lifted in 1999. Over time, this issue was eliminated by switch billing instead of billing that the SMSC and by new features within SMSCs to allow blocking of foreign mobile users sending messages through it. By the end of 2000, the average number of messages reached 35 per user per month, and on Christmas Day 2006, over 205 million messages were sent in the UK alone. Text messaging outside GSM. SMS was originally designed as part of GSM, but is now available on a wide range of networks, including 3G networks. However, not all text messaging systems use SMS, and some notable alternative implementations of the concept include JPhone's SkyMail and NTT Docomo's ShortMail, both in Japan. Email messaging from phones was popularized by NTT Docomo's Immode, and the RIM BlackBerry also typically uses standard mail protocols such as SMTP over TCP/IP. SMS today. In 2010, 6.1 trillion SMS text messages were sent. This translates into an average of 193,000 SMS per second. SMS has become a huge commercial industry, earning $114.6 billion globally in 2010. The global average price for an SMS message is 11 cents, while mobile networks charge each other interconnect fees of at least 4 cents when connecting between different phone networks. In 2015, the actual cost of sending an SMS in Australia was found to be $0.0016 per SMS. In 2014, Cactus Group developed the world's first SMS-based voter registration system in Libya. So far, more than 1.5 million people have registered using that system, providing Libyan voters with unprecedented access to the democratic process. While SMS is still a growing market, traditional SMS is becoming increasingly challenged by alternative messaging services such as Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp and Viber, available on smartphones with data connections, especially in Western countries where these services are growing in popularity. Enterprise SMS messaging, also known as application-to-peer messaging or two-way SMS, continue to grow steadily at the rate of 4% annually. Enterprise SMS applications are primarily focused on CRM and delivering highly targeted service messages such as parcel delivery alerts, real-time notification of credit, debit card purchase confirmations to protect against fraud, and appointment confirmations. Another primary source of growing A2P message volumes is two-step verification processes whereby users are delivered a one-time passcode over SMS, and then are asked to enter that passcode online in order to verify their identity.